I'm Patrick Calicut. I'm a school social work intern at Indian Run Elementary School. And today I'm going to share the results of my capstone evaluation project, which I titled Measuring the Effectiveness of a Mental Health Referral System for Indian Run Elementary School. This project came from a very real need I saw in my building. And I hoped to implement something simple and effective to help more students access the right support at the right time. Indian Run serves a diverse group of about 450 students in grades K through 5. Before this project, mental health referrals were often informal and inconsistent, and the staff weren't always sure how to make referrals and whether they to go to the counselor or the mental health specialist or to an outside Sentero clinician. And so that confusion often delayed support for students. So my evaluation kind of focused on two questions. Does a structured referral system increase staff confidence and understanding? And are referrals more appropriate after the system is in place? While I wasn't able to track outcome data, I focused on staff competency and referral accuracy. To address the problem, I created and rolled out a structured mental health referral system. So this intervention included a professional development presentation that was during an all staff meeting. So all staff kind of got this presentation, and you can kind of see the document that I provided during that presentation on the left-hand side. And then I had grade level follow-up sessions. So times where I actually met with each kind of teaching team at Indian Run and kind of answered questions and gave even more detailed information, kind of a follow-up to that presentation. And then I developed a decision tree of both on paper that was printed and handed out to students, and also a digital version for them to refer to anytime they were questioning, what's the right avenue for referring a student for mental health. One part of this was kind of differentiating behavior and social emotional supports, which previously was all kind of lumped together under the term PBIS. And then I provided ongoing consultation and support throughout the school year. The system was aligned with our MTSS, PBIS, and SEL best practices, and it was really designed to reduce confusion by clarifying staff roles and referral pathways. So really differentiating what is the role of the mental health specialist in the elementary school, what is the role of the school counselor, and what is the role of our Sentero clinician who only focuses on preventative work. So I reviewed a lot of literature on MTSS and structured referral systems, and the literature really supported this process because it consistently showed that clear processes lead to more accurate and timely referrals. So onto my measurement plan. So I measured two primary outcomes: staff understanding and confidence using a short pre and post survey, and then appropriateness of referrals using an internal referral tracking. So the survey used a Likert chart and asked staff to kind of rate their their understanding, confidence, comfort talking to families, and access to referral resources. So they would answer anywhere from a 1, which means they strongly disagree that they understand or feel confident, up to a 5, which would be strongly understand and feel confident. The data collection was anonymous and completed online using Google Forms. That's a system that the staff was very familiar with, and so I thought that it was really appropriate to use that as my avenue of data collection. And then I used referral logs. I'm part of the MTSS team at Indian Run, which allows me to see all of the referrals that are coming in and what kind of tag is associated with them. Are they a behavior referral? Are they a social emotional referral? Or are they focusing on math or literacy? So I used those logs to kind of assess the total number of referrals and how many were deemed appropriate by the mental health team. So our mental health team at Indian Run sat down, went through each referral that was a mental health one, and kind of determined whether we should be entering the RTI process or providing support for each student or not. Since I didn't end up with enough usable data from a comparison school, I had to adjust my plan. I was originally going to have a comparison, but I did not get enough survey results, and I just didn't feel like I had enough there to really make it valid. So I ended up kind of shifting and using a single group A-B design. So I just used the pre and post data from Indian Run staff. So with this revised design, this became an A-B or a single group pre-test, post-test study using the group of Indian Run elementary staff, specifically the staff that are working with students, because those would be the ones that would be making referrals. And this type of design is common in school settings when randomization or a strong comparison group isn't feasible. So I do think it's still appropriate for me to have made this shift. And while it does kind of limit my ability to rule out other influences, like some broader district conversations, I feel like it still gave me a good sense of whether the intervention had an impact in our building. So in terms of data analysis, I analyzed the data using basic descriptive statistics and visual comparisons. So some of the key findings were staff understanding of how to refer increased from 3.1 to 4.0. On average, the confidence in making referrals rose from 2.9 to 3.8. Comfort talking with families improved from 3.0 to 3.6. And then staff feeling like they have the resources they need to make effective referrals went from a 2.7 to a 3.5. The post-only survey also included the question, the new referral system has improved my ability to make referrals, and staff answered a 4.1, showing that they are feeling more supported and equipped to use this system. Also, I measured the number of referrals. So before the system was in place, we had 8 referrals total. And after the implementation, in the same time period of days, we had 18 referrals. So that shows me that more students were getting connected, or at least getting referred and then getting connected to mental health services. Of those referrals, 12 were deemed appropriate for Tier 2 or Tier 3 intervention, showing that staff weren't just making referrals, that they were actually making better referrals. So you can see that the percentage that were deemed appropriate by the mental health team before was 75%, and actually rose to 86%. So this suggests that, the training, the decision tree, my follow-up support, was effective in improving both staff competency and referral quality. So I was overall pretty happy with that. We can see in some of that post data, there's definitely still room to grow. And my hope is as staff continue to use this referral system and as I make adjustments based upon feedback, that those post scores can even increase if I were to measure this at a later point as well. This chart kind of gives you a quick snapshot of what the growth in kind of those 4 competency areas of the survey are. So you'll see, there's clear increases in staff scores across the board, from understanding and confidence to comfort with families. And I think what I appreciate most about this data is it reflects small shifts, but very meaningful shifts. So this system, it wasn't overwhelming or time consuming. It wasn't like we had to put a lot of money into this intervention. It really just helped clarify an area that had been muddy for a long time. And especially with a new role of a full-time mental health specialist in the building, a shift that I felt like was really necessary and staff felt like was really necessary in the school. So we saw a real impact, in how staff responded and how many students were getting connected to the right level of support. So to kind of wrap up, my conclusions were that the system did improve staff confidence and clarity around mental health referrals. More students were referred for mental health needs and were referred appropriately, meaning that their needs were met sooner than in the system before. Also, this system was simple, it was very sustainable, and it's now integrated into some of the onboarding and PD as our building receives new staff, and I'm hoping to have ongoing PD for staff just to continually check in, make adjustments as needed. If I were to do this capstone and intervention again, a couple of things that I do think I would do differently. I do think I'd plan a little bit better for data collection from a comparison group. I was really hoping to have that to really show the difference between a school like Indian Run that is implementing a new referral system and a school that was simply continuing to use kind of the old way. And also, I just think that that would really help me see are the shifts that I'm seeing based upon my referral system, or, as a district, is there better messaging around creating referrals that could have influenced this data? I also think, I would like to figure out a way to kind of include some focus groups just to really get some richer feedback around this process. I think that would really help strengthen, my argument and give me some good feedback just to revise this overall system as well. And then I think, I would really like to figure out a way to build in some student level outcome tracking if possible. One thing that, I initially was really wanting to do is track, is this new system leading to better outcomes in behavior and mental health, and then even academic access in the classroom. So if I had to do this again, I think I'd really spend some time looking at how I could do that. But overall, I do think that this project showed, that with clear roles, a supportive process, and a bit of structure, that in public schools and elementary schools, we can make it easier for staff to really do the right thing and help out more kids in the process. So thank you for taking the time to kind of listen through my evaluation project.